Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So, had some craziness. And I feel like I should take tonight to go over why we haven't launched the new site yet. So, we decided to roll everything for the new site into one gigantic package. Meaning it's not just going to be the website. We're also launching a whole API thing that ties into different automation pieces like think Power Automate, N8N, things like that. So we can do agentic programming that can bring more things to the platform as services. So we have all of that going on right now, which is nuts. But testing right now has been going like ridiculously well. So I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that, hey, if the big baggers happen to look, there'll be some new elements on the site that you'd be able to see. And so now we're going to be filling out those elements. So one of those elements is you have the ability to actually buy things. And we haven't sent out any notices to anybody yet. We haven't done any of that, but that's one of the things we have to do. So that way, we can send out notices like, hey, it's time for you to pay this month or pay this year or whatever. So we have recurring billing so that you can buy autographed books, that kind of stuff. So that when people go, oh, can I order that from you? Well, if you're within the United States, you'd be able to order that directly from yours truly, and we'd be able to ship it to you. The reason why I say within the United States is because it would most definitely be cheaper buying it from Amazon than it would be buying it from me unless you truly wanted an autographed copy. So we've got that going on. Yo, what's going on? Paula in the his house. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And thank you for letting me know that you're investing in yourself. So I just wanted to give you guys that quick update about what we're doing with Grow My Bag and where it is right now. We're like so close to launch that we're literally all this time we've just been testing and testing. There have been connectivity issues with the different services and things like that. So we've nixed those. We've found some critical bugs on our side. We fixed those. There's just been a lot of work that's been going into it. We've also been working on the Grow My Bag Y factor. So something like that. Oh, snap. Donovan Johnson. What's good? What's good? What's good? When will I be in Washington, D.C.? Donovan. I own a company called Be Seen Sports, and I used to be in D.C. at least a few times a year. I haven't been to D.C. in a minute. When am I going to be in D.C.? Wow, that's tough. Probably not for a little bit. I take it you're from DC. Because what I really want to do, a dream of mine, is to actually put together a Grow My Bag meetup. That would be like freaking awesome. So I'm thinking about doing that. I know that there are a couple of people that plan on coming to New York. Like Mike is going to come to New York with his wife. We're trying to get that, all set up and everything. But I mean like a nice meetup. And then somebody said, why do a meetup? If people are going to come and they want to see you, you should actually get a space, do the show live with the audience right there, and then we have a party. We have basically an after party. And I was like, oh man, that sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. And I've identified a couple of spaces that we can have them in. So still trying to figure that out. But we absolutely need to have the new website up. I want to be able to have a stack of books ready to sign and send out to people. So there's stuff that goes into that. Before this and before I hopped on here, I was actually on a conference call with my team because we do this thing called Friday Night, right, where we each get a little something to drink, and we sit down and we wax fantastic about what we like. Just anything goes in our Friday Night Flips. Our 3-Finger Friday is what we really call it. and I was talking about we just for some reason we got on a tangent about our separate gardens and everything, and I was like, yeah, I just moved my garden inside. I've got ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers and basil and dill. We just have a whole bunch of stuff going on. And believe it or not, it all comes full circle. It comes right back to the application because, you've got to grow it. You've got to nurture it. You've got to do a whole bunch of things to get the fruit out of it. And now we finally feel like, wow, we're there. Like we're right there. Like we're no longer playing, with a broken system. We're actually playing with a working system and testing it and kicking it and banging on it and doing all kinds of things. I mean, obviously we're going to launch it at some point. It's not going to be perfect. Just like any other website, nothing's ever perfect. You're forever upgrading, but we've put the stake in the ground about what we want to be working, what we want to put out there and that kind of stuff. And I think you guys are going to be happy with it. I think you're going to be happy with it. I mean, we've got things like, obviously, the crypto tracker is a service that we're going to be launching for everybody. So everything that you see that we're doing and that we have, you'll be like, wow, you've got that. Like, yep, we've got that. We have a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update so you actually know that, hey, I haven't forgotten about you. We have the platform. We're so close. And we just need to bring it home. And we're that far from bringing it home. I mean, we've got some services that we're going to be launching, that's just crazy. It's just crazy. So we're having fun and we're ready for that next part of the journey. Yo, Hutenic in the his house. Thank you for investing in me. Thank you for investing in yourself, obviously. Oh, Donovan, question for you. Have you invested in yourself today? Need to know. Now, Friday night flips is where, as long as it's about investing and it's an honest question, you can ask me almost anything. Right? You can ask me almost anything. Sometimes I'll have the answer. Sometimes we have to ask the community to join in and get us the answer. But this is a safe space. So if you've got questions, if you've never, participated before or commented before or anything, this is how you get to know me. This is the one. This will tell you everything. So Donovan, I'm just noticing this is like your first time hopping on. So thank you. But yeah, I actually have to see if I can get to Washington, D.C. My daughter likes to go. How do you make sure you invest in yourself? You know what? That for a long time, I used to think, wow, what kind of question is that? But the truth is that is one of the best questions ever. How do you invest in yourself? You invest in yourself by doing your own research, knowing your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately. Now, let me break that down for you. Yes, I have 2 books that you could probably get your hands on, and that would be the first step in really investing in yourself, right? Because now you're getting the foundations about, what is crypto? Where did it come from? Why was it born? What are the key concepts of crypto? And it's a small book. It's a small book. And I say this because it's kind of like my chili. Okay? Let me describe how my chili is. My chili is very simple. You take the first 3-4 bites and you're like, it's no big deal. You can't really call, and then you stop talking. And then you realize, holy moly, the heat is now coming. Because I lured you in. I use 7 different peppers. And they get stacked. And then it starts to hit you, and then you start to sweat, and then you want those lactose-based products. So that book is the same way. It's a small book. It's not that big, but let me tell you, use it as reference material. It is a guide. You're going to want to, refer back to it a lot. It gives you some concepts in there that you're going to be like, I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to have to go back to read it. Sort of like a really good movie that you watch 50 million times and yet you still find little details that like really bring the movie? It's just like that. It's just like that. That small little book. Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth. Then the next book actually helps you, teaches you to apply the GMB3, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. And that gives you how to apply that thought process on stocks, on crypto, in business. Like maybe you want to buy a business or something else like that. It'll teach you how to apply those three there. And then with those three, it'll actually hit you. Wow, I can actually do that in other places. That would be how I would tell you to start. And then you'll start to see and participate in the conversations. Don't be afraid to join in. Watch the show. I will tell you now that, when we launch the new website, I can almost guarantee you the only time that I'm going to reply to people on YouTube is going to be during the lives. Other than that, and even then, I might not be able to get to everybody. The only place where I'm going to be replying to people on a regular basis is going to be on our platform. It is a social media platform. There's just a ton of news on it as well, but it's primarily a social media platform. All the videos will be there. Everything will be there. We're even going to have classes on there. It's going to be, when I say it's going to be robust, yeah, it's going to be robust, big time. So that's how I would do it. Shamelessly promoting myself, but yeah, that's how I would do it. Did I answer your question? I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. Did I answer your question? I hope I answered your question. That was a really good question. Any other questions? I'm serious. Tonight, if you want to really ask questions that you feel funny about asking, don't feel funny. I'll give you an example. Hutanik is a crazy investor. Been doing it for a long time. A long time. Do you know he still learns? Paula's been doing it for a minute. She's not as advanced as some of us. She's not as new as some of us. She asks questions. She's been around for a minute. New people come on like you and just be like, hey, I like the channel. I want to ask a question. Thank you. I'm glad I was able to answer your question. So for all of you out there that want to ask questions and you feel a little funny, don't feel funny. This is actually a safe space. Don't be afraid of that. Now, Hutanik, the light behind me should be green. No, it should not. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? Why do you think it should be green? That's what I'm going to ask you. I'm not even being funny. I'm being serious. Why do you think the light behind me should be green? Awesome, Barbaresco. Awesome, Barbaresco. I don't believe it should be green. I believe it should be red. Especially since I'm sitting here looking at the board and it's red. It's red. There aren't that many things that are green. If they're green, they're like 0 point something in the green. So yeah, nah. Should be red. Hold the line on your plan. They want to break us. There is no reason for red in a midterm time frame. I don't even understand what the heck you're talking about now. How is it not red when you're looking at it's red because the market is red? What do you think the light behind me symbolizes? The market is red. Green is a great color. It represents U.S. money, is what I'll say. Just saying. Just putting that out there for you so you get an understanding. Represents money in the United States. Other countries, they'll be like, green? What's green? What is that? What are you talking about? But yeah, I don't, Hutanik, you're going to have to help me out. And where's the patient one? Where's patient one? If red is dollars, I agree. No, the market is red. I said that before. The market is red. What are you missing? Are you busting my chops on a Friday? Don't make me come out there, young man. Don't make me come out there. It'll be me and patient one kicking your tail. Just saying. or having drinks, having a really good time. I think it's probably a little bit of both. We probably have a blast. Got to make that happen. Like you and I, we actually have to make that happen. What else is there? Chicano in his ass. I hope you invested in yourself, young man. Did you invest in yourself? You invested in yourself, right? You better have invested in yourself. You know who we haven't seen in a minute? We haven't seen Bianca. We haven't seen... It's funny. I was talking about him this morning to one of my friends. Haven't seen him in a minute. Lives in Mexico. Oh, it's killing me not remembering his name right now. Ugh. But I can't remember everybody's name. So many people reach out. I can't remember everybody's name. It's hard. It's hard. Which I should be thankful for. Love the Brown. You're giving that rare earth scare sort of like... What brown? Is this showing up as brown? Yeah, it probably is. It's probably showing up as a dark brown. It's faded black, which I guess, you know what? It does show up nicely on the camera. I'm not mad about that. Not mad about that at all. Probably need some new sweaters. Papa needs a new pair of shoes. Join as member so I can earn some money. I need to earn money. It's worth it. It's worth it. I promise. I promise. And it's going to get more worth it. Holy moly. I wish you guys knew what I knew. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hutanik, I really still don't understand why you think the light behind me should be green. It reflects the market as it is now, not how we think it's going to be. It's not projecting future. It's projecting now, right? I told you guys yesterday that the market was in a bad way, and what was I doing? If I see blood in the streets, even if it's my own, I'm in it to win it, right? That's what I was saying, and that's where we are. Matches the eyes, bro. Yes, I said it. Thank you. I'll tell my mom. I have my mother's eyes. I definitely have my mother's eyes. I have my mother's eyes, and I think I have my mom's smile. Yeah. So I'm not mad about that at all. Not mad about that at all. And no, I don't take it the wrong way. And Hutanik, thank you. I'm glad you understand. Do I think that the market is going to change? You know what I want to bring up? This is what I want to bring up. Are you paying attention to BNB? Everybody's taking a hit. BNB's all-time high is $1,370.55. Now, BNB is still above 1,000. It's just, what, 2 months ago that if this would have happened 2 months ago, BNB would be back down in the 700s. It would have taken that kind of hit. BNB is holding strong. BNB is holding mad strong. That's nuts. And I told you guys the other day that Coinbase is actually going to list BNB. That's big too. That's not a small thing. That's a big thing. XRP at $2.30 is insane. That's insane. They burned a bunch of BNB after the scam. Yeah. But still, that's still a big deal. What that tells me, people have faith. Well, tells me two things. People have faith. Meme side of the business is doing well. Think about that. Think about that. I want to see something. Who are the losers right now? Actually, you know what? Who are the winners? Are there any good winners right now? No. Yeah, no. Because you hit all of the stable coins at a certain point. You hit all the stable coins at like what, the last 10 or like last 6. Last 6 are like stable coins. USDS, True USD, Stables Labs, USDX, Yeah, Satoshi stablecoin. Yeah, some of these BS stablecoins out there. I was like, yeah, nobody trusts you. DAI is there. Yeah, you hit nothing but stablecoins. So there are massive, massive freaking losers out there. What's the number of losers? You have Decentraland drop big, but it's slowed down its drop. It has slowed down its drop. It's at 8.78%. Aave slowed down its drop. It's at 7.8%. I'm not sleeping on Aave. Aave, I'm getting into Aave. I just keep on dropping into Aave. I keep dropping into. I'm not dropping any more into Aster. I have one trade on Aster, and I came really close to getting it. Aster dropped all the way down to $1.03. My purchase price is at $1. $1, and I'm not going to move. Like, I could have moved to get it at $1.03, because if I think that it's going to hit $2, I might live to regret that later. But if I think it's going to hit $2, I should have gotten in on the 103. But I'm not mad, because I already have a bag of Aster. This is bonus money. This is bonus money. So I'm not going to be upset about that. Who else? Mantle is another one that I like, that I'm in on. Mantle's been down a lot, but you want to know something? Mantle's GMB X factor 0.79. 0.79. Aster's GMB X factor is 1.08. Nuts. I told you, my calculations right now are going to be from here to your all-time high. How far is it? That's one calculation. And then what do I think my chances are of you hitting your all-time high within, whatever time frame, right? And then after that, it's how much beyond your all-time high do I think you can go? That's the X factor. That's the math that we're doing for the X factor. We're still playing with that. And yes, I have some real mathematicians working on that. Like PhD people. Yeah. So we're playing around. We're playing around with that calculation, because we want to be able to say, well, this is how we're looking at things, so that when we come out with our index, I don't know if anybody remembers, we have it, but there is a GMB index. We just haven't been sticking to it for a while. Hutanik, you are most welcome, and thank you very much for thanking me for that. I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. Truly, truly, truly. But I figure if I'm going to do the research, I'm doing this research for me, I'm doing this research for my kids, why not shoot a video? Why not shoot a video? Right? The easiest thing is when there are people actually in the chat, and I can actually look at you people. I can't see you, or I can't hear you, right? Can't see you, can't hear you, but I can see your chats. And it's like I'm having a conversation, as opposed to I'm doing a pre-recorded show and I'm just walking through the news and kind of just rambling to myself and blah, 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 frickiny blah, blah. Yeah. That's something. That's something. So it actually helps to actually see people, drop a note every now and then. I've had people that watch religiously, and the only thing I've ever heard from them was, hey, first time, just dropping a note, letting you know I'm here, and then never hear from them again. But I know that they're there because I can see the number of people. Like when I go through my metrics reports, I'm like, oh, I can see people are watching. Okay, well, they're still here, So anyway, seriously, if you guys have questions, comments, I'm open. Till then, you know what we should do? There's been some news. DL Holdings partners with Ant Alpha. It's a $200 million initiative, and what they're looking to do is integrate tokenized gold with Bitcoin mining. That's interesting. That could actually take off. Something else that's happening, a lot of Bitcoin miners have maneuvered a lot of Bitcoin into exchanges because their escape route, and I said this months ago, their escape route is AI. Their escape route is AI. computing power for AI. And you have a few of them that are saying, hey, we can make some money, we can take some profit, and we can do that, and we can focus on some AI. We still do the mining, but we can focus on AI. It's bound to happen. And people are like, why? People forget that Bitcoin's almost done. It'll take many years to to finish, mining all of the Bitcoin, but the money making, that's almost over. And these miners need to figure out what their next step is, and a lot of them, their next step is AI. So now you understand why that's going to happen. The market will absorb it. Don't know why people panic. The market will absolutely absorb it. Not a problem. So people are going to jump to conclusions. They're going to, freak out and panic and everything. That's why I tell people, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. And the reason why is because the more you do that, the less panicked you will get. You won't do panic sells, panic buys, otherwise known as FOMO. You won't do that. You'll understand how it works. You'll start to learn to see how things are kind of filling out. One of the biggest things I try to tell people is you'll figure out that you need your own risk framework, otherwise known as your gut. Your gut tells you, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Doesn't tell you why not, but you listen to your gut and it's like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Someplace in your brain made a calculation. Your brain made a determination. And we call that our gut. Because it's something that we haven't, logicized yet. We haven't put any logic to it yet. But once you do, that's a part of your risk framework that'll help you figure out what to do, how to do it, why to do it, why not to do it. Something to pay attention to. Just something to pay attention to. Just saying. What else do we have? We've got Stripe's blockchain project Tempo securing $500 million in funding and hires away one of Ethereum's biggest developers, Darncrad Feist. I'm like completely screwing up his name, and I apologize for that, sir or ma'am. I don't know if you're a girl or a guy. And people are kind of figuring out, well, are we reliant on corporate money? Because this is supposed to be, have an open source, decentralized kind of take on it. And are we susceptible? Yeah, you wave money in front of somebody's face. If they need it, well, they might take it. And not for nothing, when I look at Stripe, well, okay, so they hired somebody. You know how many people out there that really know crypto? He's not the only guy. He's not the only guy. So I'm not worried about that. Right? Now, the next one, this one is interesting. I hope you're sitting down. Mr. Beast filed for a trademark for a crypto financial platform. Oof, my English. But they're saying that regulatory challenges may stunt its launch. Maybe. But imagine Mr. Beast launching a crypto platform. Let that wash over you for a minute. I don't even care about the form, the functionality, anything like that. It's the fact that he's the world's largest influencer and he wants to launch an exchange. Let that wash over you for a minute. How would I launch an exchange? I'd go buy one. I would go buy one. With my name, my clout, if I'm him, I would go buy one, change the name, and quickly become a rival to Coinbase, become a rival to Binance. Quickly. If I had the money and I could afford to buy an exchange, I would. And then the first thing I would do after buying that exchange would be, obviously I changed the name of the exchange, right? The second thing that I would do, which is most important, I would look at every place where this exchange operates and I would immediately become compliant. I would immediately work with local municipalities, whatever, countries, states, whatever, and become compliant. In other words, I would buy it and clean it up. And then I'd go after customers. Clean it up first, then go after customers. Because when customers see you cleaning it up, they will come. They will absolutely come. And with his name, that would be nuts. That would absolutely, to me, I think that would be absolutely nuts. Something else that caught my attention that I thought was insane. I'm just going to read you my notes. Hopefully I'll read it properly. Why change the name? Branding. Because I'd most likely be buying a small exchange, doesn't have a big brand. And by that time, if I can afford to buy an exchange, Grow My Bag is huge, right? So yeah, I would change the name. Absolutely. Because we would be carrying more weight than them. We would be carrying more weight than them. Look at our community as it is now. We've got a growing community. Do I have as many subscribers as others? No, not even close. But I can also say they don't have a community. They have a bunch of people that are subscribing to the same, to that one source. I would say that most of them do not have actual communities. Think about that. I get people a lot saying, hey, when are you going to be in town? When are you going to be over here? When are you going to be over there? Remember, what was it, last year, year before last? I actually went to DC to meet one of us, meet one of the community members, because I was in DC for an event. And she was like, hey, are you going to be able to do dinner? And I was like, yeah, I'll be able to do dinner. So in between all the tournaments and everything else, we sat down and had dinner. It was a great dinner. And she asked me all the questions she wanted to ask. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And I'm not going to mention her name, but she was awesome. It wasn't like, oh, it's date night or anything like that. No, it was as if me and Hutanic went out to dinner. Just two people, like-minded, chilling, talking, and, sharing information, thoughts, and ideas. It was awesome. But most places, they don't have a community like this. A safe space for people to ask questions. All of us get to learn. I don't know everything. I know I don't know everything because my kids remind me of it every day. I don't know everything. But I love to learn. I'm a sponge for learning. You can see all the white in my beard, right? Well, my pitlins of a beard. You can see all the white in my beard. My mom is still learning. So if my mom is still learning, that means I'm going to be learning for the rest of my life. I love that idea. Keeping the mind sharp. Love that idea. So just saying, this is a kind of space where we can do that, which is awesome. But something that caught my attention today, like I said, I'm just going to read you the note. Switzerland's GESPA files a criminal complaint against FIFA Collect. Don't know who FIFA Collect is? Yes, it is the blockchain arm of FIFA. For operating unlicensed gambling via NFTs and ticketing systems, sparking debates over regulatory challenges in sports technology. If you don't have any regulations, then how are you going to point your finger at me and tell me I'm doing something illegal? This is FIFA. This isn't some little pitlins of a... No, this is FIFA. I'm sorry. Well, what did we do wrong? Tell me how to correct it. Show me the law. Now, can I believe that they could have broken the law? Yeah, sure. Wittingly? Yeah, no. I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to believe that. So yeah, I'm interested to find out how that's going to work out. That's going to be mad interesting. Something else, this is kind of newsy. Unbanked, a Bitcoin documentary premieres on Halloween, showcasing cryptocurrency's global impact through interviews with industry leaders and festival awards to reframe its narrative. Yeah, I think that's going to be big. Michael Saylor's involved. Like you've got people that are in there that are. It's called Unbanked. It'll launch on October 31st. That's going to be interesting to me. I'm definitely going to watch that. I'm absolutely going to watch that. Binance co-founder CZ's disputing Peter Schiff's Bitcoin forecast, calling it short-sighted as Bitcoin drops 32% against gold, reflecting divisions over its role as a store of value. How can I put this? Bitcoin has outperformed gold for years. So when Bitcoin drops against gold, Bitcoin didn't drop against gold, Bitcoin dropped. And people were already panicking and running to gold, not just from crypto, but from other places, right? Other investments. Peter Schiff is stretching it, in my humble opinion. He's stretching it. So just saying. That's I can see why CZ came out swinging. Then you've got Bank of America's Paul Siana warns of a potential S&P 500 market correction amid near critical support levels, with precious metals at risk of a pullback despite recent gains. You're kind of seeing that. Why would you see that? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not that the precious metals are overbought. It's that other things were probably oversold. Because what do you do when you panic? You go buy some precious metals. You get out of that, go put it in precious metals. And when the dust settles, you use that money to go buy whatever it is you want to go buy. Well, that's why. So I don't think it's going to be a huge drop. Reinsurance markets are swapping out mature bonds for gold as what's T1? Define T1, please. Not everybody's going to know what T1 is. That'd be greatly appreciated. What else is there? Federal Reserve Chair Powell highlights slowing payroll growth and reduced immigration. Signaling labor market concerns and markets pricing in near certainty of rate cuts. Yep. Tier 1 or same day funds. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Because not everybody knows what that is. So Chair Powell is saying, hey, look, listen, the jobs outlook. Here's something else to contemplate. The United States has deported like one way or another, self-deportation, regular deportation, about 2 million people. Okay. Let that wash over you for a minute. Who are those 2 million people? A lot of people that work there, a lot of laborers. Think about where they were going to pick people up. They were going to, parking lots where people were standing around waiting to get picked to go make money. Usually construction sites. Farms. They were literally going to farms and arresting people. They went to an active forest fire. An active forest fire to snatch somebody to deport them. Like, seriously? Yo, Trader, my man. What's going on, E? So you sit there and you're kind of like, we got rid of people. We got rid of a lot of people. And Scott Bessent said it. Jerome Powell has said it. This mass deportation, yeah, not so bueno. Because who's rushing to go do those jobs? Nobody. Anybody rushing to go do them jobs? Nope. Day laborers, that kind of stuff? Nope. Then nobody's rushing to go do those jobs. So who's left to do those jobs? That would be nobody. And I'm looking at it from a purely economic perspective. If we don't have people on the farms picking, that means farms are missing harvests. If you miss harvest, they're not making money. If they're not making money, they can go bankrupt. And if you look at the number of farms that have gone bankrupt this year, it has boomed. You just see a whole bunch of farms going bankrupt. Who's out there buying those bankrupt freaking farms? Exactly who you think. Big business. So you have people losing their farms, losing their livelihoods. There's that. something to think about. Something to think about. Like, people think, why are you thinking about things like that? Because they can affect my bag. That's why. Not just mine. It affects everybody's bags. Some people don't believe me. Okay. Nobody's there to pick the fruit. Nobody's there to harvest. If nobody's there to harvest, can't make money. Less food actually act the supermarkets, and prices do what? That's what happens. I saw somebody on a news show early today, and they were like, yeah, so you're going to have people that can't afford fruits and vegetables, and it's cheaper to buy processed food. That will be cheaper than buying real food. And what does that do to our health? And so our healthcare system takes a hit because of all this stuff. Yeah. Starts to catch up, doesn't it? It's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect. You absolutely have a snowball effect. So from an economics perspective, no politics here, no sports, none of that crap. Just investing. What can affect my investing? Deportation affects our investing. When you have the head of the Treasury saying that, hey, this is going to be a problem, that in and of itself should tell you something. The Secretary of Treasury says, oh, that's not a good thing. The Fed chair tells you, oh, that's not a good thing. What does it affect? That's what I mean by look down the road. What does it affect? How does it get affected? All that stuff. That's what you get. That's what you start to see. Oh, and that's right. So if high cost of food costs money and all this other stuff and all that good stuff, and if we can't afford the high cost of food, we start to buy bad stuff for our bodies. We eat that. We go to the doctor. We start to get obese. We start to develop all kinds of issues. That takes a hit on our healthcare system, doesn't it? The healthcare system that they're trying to gut right now, that we don't have a plan for replacement. Again, who's out there going for those jobs? Oh, let's not forget that we've been outsourcing white collar jobs to India and other places, mainly India, but to other places too, for years. For years. So that's a problem. And when everybody starts to look at that and they start to see how much that's going to hit their bottom line, and I think people are starting to feel it now. They're starting to go to the grocery store and be like, food prices are higher. I can't afford all this. Huh. Yeah. No, you can't. People think it's funny that, I had a garden outside. I moved portions of my garden inside. Right? And people are like, wow, you have a garden? Like, yeah, because it's cheaper. It's cheaper. I moved my peppers inside, my basil inside, dill, cilantro, ghost peppers, and Carolina Reapers all inside. Because it's cheaper. I really want to grow tomatoes. I have a tomato plant outside. It's still got flowers on it. It's still trying to do stuff. But I think that's a bit much. I don't want to have a whole big garden inside my house. Right? Because it's not even inside my house. It's in my office. Like, I'm looking at it right there. But it's cheaper. It's way cheaper. And so you have to ask yourself, well, wait a minute. What does that do? I'm trying to save money every which way I can. Every which way I can. Back in the day, you had people that would learn how to do oil changes to save money. You have people that do their own haircuts. I'm bald. See what I'm saying? Vzz. How much money I save giving myself my own haircut? Yeah. I haven't gone to a barbershop in like decades. I'm going to say almost 30 years. Saves money. Imagine going to the barbershop like once a week, once every other week, somewhere between 2 and 4 times a month, right? How much money is that? That's a lot of money. When you start to add that up, that's a lot of money. Think about if you stopped going to Starbucks and you started going to Dunkin' Donuts. What's that? Like a $5 difference? Think about that. That's kind of a big difference. I'm just saying there are things that people are doing to try to save money. I know people that have their own hens so that they can have fresh eggs because eggs are ridiculously expensive. There are people in my neighborhood that have hens. Crazy. Eric Balkunas, Bloomberg, he has a hen house. If you go look at his profile, you can probably find pictures of it. Dead serious. So it's kind of a big deal. Trying to save money, do what you got to do to make ends meet. It's also why I invest, because I keep telling everybody we're going to have to invest just to survive. We're going to have to have investment strategies and implement those strategies just to survive. Because we're not going to be making enough money. The prices are going up, but our salaries aren't. What are these companies doing when they have record income? Are you hearing about big bonuses being paid out to the regular rank and file? No, you don't. You hear about stock buybacks and how that boosts the value of the stock for that particular company as well. You're not hearing about how they're giving people good raises, good salaries. It used to be that the cost of a home kept pace with the price of a salary. That ended, I think, in like 1971. Salaries, so the price of homes kept going like this, and salaries started going like this, only raising up a little bit every so often. And the price of a home just took off. Yep, it's a big deal. It's not obvious because I think most people are the frog in the pot. They're the frog in the pot. They don't realize that it's happening until it's too late. It's a little bit of a problem. It's a little bit of a problem. So just saying. At some point, we all have to wake up and we all have to say to ourselves, yeah, I think it's time to invest. I think it's my youngest son called me up and he goes, hey, Dad, you have a Robinhood account, right? I said, yeah, Robinhood's all right. I said, because obviously you're doing stocks, right? Robinhood is okay for stocks. It's not okay for crypto. He goes, oh, yeah, no, I'm getting stocks. I was like, okay. So he's got an account that his big brother, set up, and now he's doing his own account over at Robinhood. I mean, they're both his accounts, but one was mandatory because he got a job working for his big bro, and a real legit job working for his big bro. And his big bro said, bet, this is the amount I'm going to pay you, and this is the amount that I'm taking out of that pay to go put in savings for you. Because he understands compound interest. So, yeah. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor. Tell your friends about this community. Join the community. Participate in the community. Ask questions. Come with answers. Don't be afraid. I've decided to try heating my garage with a few mining rigs this winter in northern Canada. Woo, baby. I've had to pay for heating anyways. May as well get something out of it. Oh, word. Word. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that. I've been thinking about doing a couple of things, but I can't spread myself so thin, so I'm focusing on Grow My Bag. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about us, and absolutely, if you can, become a member. Membership has its benefits. So whether you're a junior bagger, big bagger, just a bagger, join. I think you're going to like it. Everybody, have a great weekend. I'll see you on Sunday for the Sunday Roundup. I hope all is well. Thank you. Bye-bye.